We are back to the next level show. We have the one and only Mike Nillas in the house.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, that was actually pretty good.
It was.
All right.
Um,
I've been practicing.
yeah, I'm back. My voice is not though.
The people that are listening, they can't see you on YouTube. If that's a little plug, if you haven't already noticed, we do have a YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up on the video. But for people that don't see you, they're just listening to the audio. They're like, "That's not Mike. That's not Mike. That doesn't sound like Mike."
I've been speaking, so I think we opened on the 28th of August.
You did.
It feels like it's been months. We opened on the 28th of August. The 27th, we had like a little party the night before at the gym, and we did tours. So I was literally talking, and it was full of people. So I was shouting. And the gym is loud. It's full of people. It's like a shopping mall all the time. Loud music. There's classes, loud music, just super. I'm shouting the whole time. I have to. And then I start losing my voice. Then I have to shout louder, and then I lose my voice more. And I did this from August 27th all evening, and then all day, every day, ever since then. And I've been doing like 60 to 70 appointments a week. It's only been like a week and a half.
Is that the most from at the gym?
Because
it sounds like a shit ton.
It is a shit ton. I think Tyler and I are there the most. He's currently, I'm calling him the bull moose because he's a fucking beast. He's got a lot more than I do, but he also is 22 and doesn't have a baby that is teething while we open and go through this. But yeah, he's doing really well. So when I say appointments, it's not necessarily like clients. It's the kickoff sessions, which I'm getting clients from, but I'm still sitting there for an hour talking to somebody, going out on the floor, having to shout over the crowds, over the music and stuff. So it's just like, it's literally like nonstop. Some of the days were 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Didn't eat, barely had time to like take a shit. But
so just bloated all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I actually like the pace. It's kind of I'm going to manage my time a little bit better moving forward because I can't do the 5 to 8 anymore. But I like the pace because it's back to back. Like there's no rest, and you start off at 5 and then you blink and it's 10 a.m. and you've got your last client. You're like, fucking sweet. So, but yeah, it's going well.
So the majority of people are showing up. There's no like people that just don't.
I mean, yeah, we're texting everybody before, like the night before, to confirm. And most people, they reply. Some people just don't reply but show up. Some people don't reply and then don't show up. If somebody doesn't show up and they don't reply, I'm honestly like, thank fuck. I'm gonna go make love to the foam roll, and I'll go foam roll for like an hour just to like work the kinks out.
Yeah. And try not to fall asleep while you're doing that.
Try not to fall asleep. Yeah. Yeah, it's going good. It's overwhelming because 2 weeks ago I had 0 clients, and now I have between 25 and 30. A lot of them, I don't even remember their faces, if I'm being completely transparent, because I had 12 appointments that day. Somebody somewhere in the middle signed up with me, and then I immediately like shook their hand and like went and on to the next one.
Are you now these 12 sessions, are they more half-hour sessions or are they hour sessions?
No, it's an hour. So it's basically like the way it's supposed to be structured is like 30 minutes of, well, at most 30 minutes of conversation to kind of get the gist of what the person's expecting and get an idea where they are, where they want to be, blah, blah, blah.
No, I'm saying as far as when you're training them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've got more half hours at this point, but I have a lot of hours as well. Mm-hmm. I've been really trying to get people to go hours, and the people who can do, but if a half hour is the only thing that fits in the budget, then of course let's make it happen. But
Of course.
I actually have a pretty decent amount of hours. I'm getting a lot of 3 hours a week people. I've got 3 or 4 of them, which doesn't sound like a lot, but to me that's a lot. Normally I think I'll have like 1 or 2 of those, but yeah.
Cool, man. Hell yeah. That's freaking awesome. I went there, ironically enough, this is the only fucking time you weren't there. So I was like, what in the actual? But like,
Yeah.
it's a nice place. I told Gabe, I was telling him on the last episode that it was there's a new gym, it's a new environment. Everyone was excited. You see a lot of people on the floor moving around. It was weird for me to be in a place that has people because I'm so used to being so quiet and chill. Not quiet and chill, but just more like I don't have distractions when I'm training. I don't have any wait time. I can just do whatever I want in the gym when I need to. This one I had to kind of wait for some stuff, but my brother is a member there now. He got me a free pass, so I went there I think once. I think that's all it's valid for. I don't even know. But it's a perfect setup. It's a new kid on the block type thing for that area because you guys have 2 other big gyms that are down the road. A lot of people from those gyms obviously went there just because it's in some cases it may be better. Budget might be better. Just the new gym, everything's like is that feeling, that environment like we just talked about. And yeah, man, I feel for you, dude. I would die in that, just that volume again. Fucking A. Like for anyone that doesn't know this, people say like, oh, you're just counting reps. I mean, personal training is not so much necessarily a physical job because it's not like we're actually working out unless you're like an instructor. You're not working out and lifting a lot with your clients. It's the mental energy, like just the mind that you're just burnt out. And I remember even at any time, I was the most I would get on average, I was seeing minimum 9 to typically the highest day was 15, and that was included half hours and some hours. Mentally, you're just mush. It's because you're on it. It's like a job that you're maybe in a cubicle or something, and you're doing some tasks and stuff that requires you to be like on it, looking at the computer all day, whatever. But if you're really honest, they've done studies on this and surveys where really the productivity, the amount of hours that they're productive is like not that much compared to that whole 8-hour day. You kind of like fucking around on your phone. You're just sitting there thinking about Lala. When you're with a client, you're on like all the time. It's really rare it's the worst job to be either hungover, sleep deprived, just off your game, period, because you can see, and there's no getting around it. And the person's expecting your energy, your motivation, just someone pleasant to be around, because nothing worse than like feeling horrible and then someone's like just there like looking at you like, what do we do next? So you're like, fuck. Or if they're not getting something, you have to explain it. But as long as you're sharp, you're taking care of yourself the best you can. It's a rewarding thing, but at the same time it is very mentally tough. I tell people, experience that, go through that, have a gym that feeds you, teaches you structure to a high level, and then you can understand how to like make next thing in your life. You make a decision based on that, and you just you experience what that's like. What is true burnout? We talk about balance all the time, but you need to go from that to that place that's not balanced, so you understand what is balance. So we've talked that about on the episodes before in the past,
like about hunger. So you're not really hungry, you're just bored or something. Just go through like some an extended deficit for you to be able to experience what hunger really is.
Get really shredded, get 3% body fat, and then for guys, and then see what being hungry all the time, low energy, low libido, fucking moody as shit, everything.
But it's like what I wanted to ask you also, Mike, is so essentially you opened up the gym. Was it what you thought it would be to open up? Was it a little bit more? Was things that unexpected? Like what that whole experience? Because I opened up a store before, like a retail store.
Yeah.
And it was pretty crazy as to the amount of effort and work it needed to go in just to have it open from day 0 all the way up until it opens up. So what did you experience with that?
Yeah, I mean, it did take quite a lot, and there was a lot that went into it as far as preparation goes on our part, but then also all of the employees and getting everything scheduled and set up and learning all the systems and working out the kinks in all the systems. And we're still learning processes that we're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
Which are healthy habits to have. And I appreciate that they're teaching us how to project our income into the next 3 months and stuff like that. But it's a lot, especially when just the sheer, like that's the biggest shock value to me, is just the sheer volume of people. I mean, the fact that I 2 weeks ago didn't have any clients because I technically wasn't an actively working personal trainer. And then how long would it take to get 25 people to even do an assessment with you at Anytime Fitness, Jonathan? 2 months, 3 months, a long fucking time. I had like 100 in 2 weeks.
Unless you're me.
Well, yeah, of course. But you know what I mean? Like, just coming
just
from
kidding.
such a small facility where there's like maybe 3 people in there at a time, and maybe 1 or 2 people coming in to sign up. Like, this is just a constant flow from 5 a.m. all the way until we close. So that's like really the biggest shock to me, is just the sheer volume of people, and then the amount of work that goes into keeping the place just up and running, like between all the trainers, all the staff,
Yep.
janitors, everything, all the upkeep, all the maintenance, and then it just starts over all over again every day. But I mean, we're doing really well. We have 3 trainers in the top earners. 3 trainers are top 10 earners in the company right now for the month. Which I'm one of those. I'm not first.
Hell yeah.
First
Well, that was a
place
given.
is actually our coworker Tyler, the Bull Moose. That's what I'm calling him. I'm trying to make it stick. But
The bull.
yeah. So the record is like, I think like $28,800 in a single month selling and training.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, that's like not that big of a number. That's a big fucking number. That's a lot. That's a lot of people to sign up. And it's a lot of money to make in a 30-day period. But
And you're trending to
I am
exceed?
almost to a 1/5 of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I've sold. Okay, so basically, technically, this actually makes me mad because I had a really good first day and a really good couple of days after the first day. They're only counting the first month that were open for the whole month. So August 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st don't fucking count. And I had a lot of good deals that day.
Yeah.
So it's only counting from September 1st after
Gotcha.
I've been working for 12 to 15 hours every single day for 5 days in a row and losing my voice. So I feel a little bit handicapped in that regard. But no, I mean, realistically, like I said, we're projecting incomes and stuff like that. And I'm so incredibly happy with the numbers I saw. So I'm not even upset about it. Even if I don't hit any records or anything like that, the club itself should set the first month record, like total, but we're trying to get Tyler to muscle his way to that $30,000 mark, which we'll see if that happens or not. But
Nice.
Awesome, dude. I'm excited. I got to go back and see when you're actually there and just go mess with you. Ask for an assessment and then
I was about to say, ask for an assessment.
it's $10.
just assess me, bro. Assess my body. It's on the other end, receiving end. Awesome, dude. Cool. So I
Just,
wanted to make
one more thing. Do me a favor. Don't ask me to show you all the machines.
Oh, please. I want a walkthrough.
Each
So
and
all
every
this
single
high-
one, just to show me
high-tech-
exactly which one.
Like, what does this pin do, and why is this pin set up this
Bro,
way?
it literally, there's like a line that I'm supposed to say to that, but like, it literally got to the point. I was like, look out there real quick. Just take a peek. Look how many machines are out there. Do you think we have the time for me to run through every single machine that we have in this facility? And they're like, no, well, I mean, what about like just the ones that would work well for me? I'm like, that's why we got to talk first so I can see what would work well for you. So what are your goals?
There you go.
just get very straightforward. I don't know. Go ahead.
You're going to get better with that.
Segue us. Do it.
All right. So we do have the episode lined up today with the mindset of, people are seeing the title of the episode. We definitely had to do a nice little catch up for Mr. Mike himself, because it's been a while since he has been with us. But today we're going to be mainly, there we have a guest there. I had the little dog in the room, so she wanted to come out and say hello to her actual owner. But no, on the serious note, with this episode, I kind of thought it was a good time to talk about, a lot of times, like, why do people work out? It's usually something potentially starts off as a negative in some regard in their life. Maybe it's nothing super serious, life or death, or emotionally traumatic. It's just something that where you wake up one day and you're just like, fuck, I let myself go, or I'm not happy with how I feel. I rolled over and I might have felt something like, oh, I have a belly. I didn't know I didn't have this. Like, maybe you're someone that's always been skinny and just one day you just with age start gaining weight, whatever. Or you're a woman that one day looks at herself and maybe you have some extra, wrinkles or, cellulite or, extra body fat or jiggle that you didn't notice, or something that just makes you upset. Or you got through a breakup and you just got out of a relationship, or you lost something happened, you had a fallout with something, or just something bad just happened in your life that led you to the place like, you know what, like, you have two options. You can go down a path that's destructive, which some people do, which is drinking a lot, doing drugs, spending a lot of money on a lot of dumb shit, like buying just breaking the bank. You're coping with something, right? You buy a tiger, who knows? Like, you just do something really random. Or you listen to the next level show and you're thinking something, life is sucking right now. Life's hitting me hard. It's kicking me down, but I'm going to go and do something productive. And I'm going to fuel this negative emotion, this anger, sadness, whatever. And I'm going to take it to the gym and I'm going to transform my body. And I just wanted to discuss with you guys, for our listeners, maybe the stuff that goes on through your mind and the mindset to have that you should do option B, right? And how maybe some stuff that you can go about it.
And tiger.
Option B being the fitness aspect.
Oh,
I know, Mike. You got to bear with Mike here. He's like half asleep right now in the podcast. Mentally, he's in the matrix. He's like coming in and out. He's getting in and out of plugged from it.
Oh, remember that scene where he touches what looks like the mirror and then it gets into liquid? Yeah. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Is that a true statement, Mike?
Yes. I could sleep standing up in a corner.
With the eyes open.
Eyes open. I'm actually sleeping right now. I want to buy a tiger. That's cool. Go ahead.
But yeah, just to discuss like kind of what's the mindset. And if you guys ever had like a personal experience going with this, I have personal stories that had led me to the place that I am now, which that's why you look at these negatives overall as a positive or a blessing in disguise is the most cliche saying, right? So I'll let you guys kick it off.
Yeah, when you think of why most people join a gym or start working out or using exercise or fitness, it tends to be, like you said, something kind of like negative, like either like a breakup or you're tired of looking a certain kind of way, either maybe too much, kind of like you mentioned, feeling like rolls, or not enough because you're just like, oh, I'm skinny as shit and I need to do something and I don't like this. I don't like if I continue this path of just feeling this kind of way. And that's where I can relate to that, so I was like, skinny as shit and I wanted to change that. I was just like, you know what, I've half-assed attempt to work out, and I said, you know what, no, this time I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in there. I had a buddy that kind of like just showed me the way, showed me the ropes, and just continued on with that. And then eventually it turned into not really caring so much about that. I mean, you're always going to be, it's kind of like a joke that once you start working out, you will be forever small because you're never going to be as big as you want to be. Mm-hmm. But it's something that you're like, whatever, you're cool with it. Like, so I look at myself and I say, oh, okay, well, I can, I can critique myself as to where I am, but I feel fine and I'm okay. And I always know we always go back to that balance of where we want to be. And based on how my life is today, I'm totally fine with balance. with my with how I am with fitness in my life. So that's just one aspect. Another thing could be, maybe like a drastic health change. You go to the doctor and the doctor says, you need to make this drastic lifestyle adjustment, or else, we're going to have some really, really tough conversations. And that could be just the kick in the pants that you need to kind of get you going. So whatever it is, it tends to be something negative that kind of gets you that way, right? Because it out of all the people that start with fitness in their life, they don't just say, you know what, I'm going to do this to feel better, or just I feel okay, but I know I can feel better. It's usually something kind of like that drives them, like you said, like a negative, turning a negative emotion into a positive. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So that's, I mean, is that never the case? No, I'm not going to say that. But it tends to be a negative that leads you towards it. And eventually, you keep on this path and you can get into a much better place than you were before. You had no idea. Now, I mean, like, I don't give a shit about, what the hell I look. Nobody can tell me nothing about how the hell I feel. Only I can. So now I am in control of that aspect of my life. And I won't let anyone else, even myself, put me in that place where I was before.
Yes.
Mike.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, referring to the 100 people that I just surveyed on this exact subject, depression actually came up quite a lot, which I was surprised as to how many people were actually sharing that with me. And that was always something that I could relate to, because whether or not I was realizing that I was dealing with that, I was doing it because I felt like shit on the inside and I wanted to feel better on the outside, thinking that would kind of make the two match eventually, which it did, but took a little bit of time to get there. So, like I said, that's a conversation that I've had several dozens of times in the past 2 weeks, but
that's kind of cool that people can open up to you with that, because
some of them did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think it's kind of good, and that speaks to you that you're able to I guess give them that welcoming atmosphere.
Yeah,
they're able to share that with you.
Build the rapport, build the trust, whatever. And then, of course, you get the people that are like, I just got through a rough breakup or whatever. So yeah, kind of going back with that. And then there are the other people who are just like, I just want to be healthier. And I'm like, I think you just don't trust me enough to tell me that you don't like the way you look naked or something like that. But if you want to be healthier, that's fine too. I mean, that's great. I love that. But I digress. So the, getting in better shape for the sake of feeling better, that became a bit of almost like a carousel ride, that I just through personal experience, where I kind of started seeing results and started feeling a little bit better. And then I kept working at it and staying on top of it and actively doing something about it, and seeing the results kept making me feel better. And then at a certain point, I realized I was just happy with who I was. And it's not quite so linear as just a couple of sentences, but more or less, that's kind of my own experience with it. And, I can think of no better, motivator than to just feel better about yourself inside and out. So just kind of spin that.
No, I think that, like, what you say is like when someone just tells you, like, I just want to be healthier. In some cases, this is just maybe the older demographic, grade of clients that they truly don't care about having a six-pack abs and having big biceps. Like when you're 70 years old, you're probably going to just literally just try to be healthier, because you're trying to, at this point, preserve the quality of your life for the remaining years you may have. Right. So that in that case, that happens. But when you get like the young guy, like that's like, I just want to be healthier, typically may not want to admit that like he just went through a breakup, or he got shamed at school, or like someone like made fun of him. And like, if there's like a thing that's like, I gotta like prove these people, or I gotta be better, like I gotta build, like fight this insecurity, whatever the case may be. So like, we know that if you stick with this long enough and you get the results and you make progress, that fitness has so many other amazing benefits outside of just the one thing that may have brought you there, that you may have overcome. My personal experience is like, I was always active growing up. Like I always played sports, and I had like an overall like athletic build always since I was about 14 years old. My coaches were very brutal on me. So I was, as a result, I got like, a decent frame. So I had a good place to start. But got comfortable. I never really worked out with weights, never lift out strength, lift for strength and anything like that. Uh, Outside of first year of college, girlfriend breaks up with me. Kind of like you're just kind of in the funk of like, well, I'm not playing sports anymore. I'm kind of here. I'm kind of like in this mental funk. I don't want to even say real depression, but I could say I was technically depressed. I don't say it lightly. I wasn't like crying every day, but it was just like I could feel like this like lack of motivation and sense of drive and purpose. So I was like, let me sign up for a gym and actually subscribe to a membership each month, right? And I signed up, didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I liked the concept of building muscle and being bigger, and that idea that this was possible. And I could say it was the determining factor was that like, okay, I don't have anyone around to like hang out with like in that way. Like I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have like the distraction of like I have to go on dates and all that other. I make it seem like a drag, but it's like it takes time away from like a relationship takes time away from yourself because you're now dedicating some of that time to someone else. So obviously I was much more immature. I didn't know how to navigate time. So now I had an abundance of extra free time besides hanging out with friends and school and all that. So I signed up with the intention of like I gotta be better out of this situation. I'm going to show her, like maybe subconsciously I was thinking this. I wasn't like openly saying that because I did want to build muscle and not be skinny, because there was another factor was that I was a skinny kid. So I was like, well, I'm not the tallest person, so let me see if I can be the widest person, right?
There you go.
So
I can't grow this way, but I can grow this way.
Yeah, so let me just be a small house. And I was the goal. I was forever bulking for a long time, but as I started going through that process and learning and making mistakes and all the stuff that usually we know that we if we don't have a proper mentor or a coach or something that's going to teach us like all these things that maybe we could have saved the time, I still loved it enough that it never demotivated me from being consistent. I was always never discouraged, even though I was like, fuck, I was doing this wrong. This fucking hurts. Let me just continue to show up every single day. And not everyone is like that when it comes to the gym. So that's why there's value in personal trainers and someone that can kind of save you time, money, resources, and just get you there a little bit consistently and save the time by like maybe cut you a year off your journey, possibly. Who knows, right?
More than that.
So for some, yeah, absolutely. For some people, absolutely. So for me, that I know that's a personal experience. I know a lot of it stems from a negative comment, typically a significant other that maybe have said something to you or left you. People getting divorced typically is a driver for a lot of people. Men and women will go and just physically get themselves more attractive physically, to maybe either a haha in your face or, do something better. Or maybe they realize like, fuck, I really did like let myself go. Let me not do that again. Let me make sure that I'm in some way a priority in my life. So I'm assuming, Mike, you hear stories at the gym all the time from from people like, yeah, she just left me, man. I'm just divorced. I'm like, you know what? I gotta get rid of this. And just like a good old pat down there. Yep. I know tons of people that have come to me with stories. Or you have the people that you have a precondition of diabetes or something. Your doctor said, hey, you're pre-diabetic, or you do have diabetes now, or you have an issue that if you do not take care of it now, it would only get worse and you will potentially die sooner than you should. So this is, in some cases, these are crisis, and this is why I labeled it like I put in that term, just so there's many crises that happen, and these are determining factors that are going to catapult you in a direction. And we enabled all the stuff that you probably shouldn't do. You shouldn't fall upon drugs, alcohol, sex, and just meaningless shit in life and buying tigers. Like you should probably put it towards like investing that money into yourself, developing mentally, maybe a therapist as well as a trainer or a gym membership in some programs to then, because we know that once you do this, you're not only going to feel better, you're going to be much stronger mentally, much more positive outlook on life, and you're going to value certain attributes that come with fitness, which is the hard work, the patience, the dedication that you can start applying to the next phase of your life, whether that's relationships, business, career, family, you name it.
Yeah, and then so you're named all these things that are maybe not the best way to fill this hole that you have in that you encounter in your life. Now, don't get it twisted. The gym can be that negative there as well if you go about it the wrong way.
The dark
so you
side.
can be so exactly dark side of the gym where you're just overly obsessive with that, just like with anything. And now you have no life because you say no to everything because you're always there. You just you don't hang out with anyone because they're it doesn't fit your macros whenever you go out to eat, and it's just all about the gym. Now, fine if you have a goal in mind, of course, just like you, Johnny, when you were going to get on stage, you had to shift your focus into that. You had to shift that what we call that triangle or that our priority scale,
the trifecta of priorities.
There you go. So you had to shift that intentionally, but that wasn't in your head like I'm going to do this long term, right? So unless that's the case, be okay with it, take it slow. I think what you said before about like having a personal trainer to guide you would be the best way, because I mean, I literally lost, I mean, not that I lost, but I could have been much further ahead in my, I guess, lifting or fitness aspect of my life if I had someone else to guide me. Now I did, I had a buddy of mine, but it was just like, just a bro, just, hey, let's go, hit chest today and tomorrow, and then arms today and tomorrow, and then again after those 2 days. So it's it's a great way to help guide you into whatever course that you would want to go to, and just it's an awesome thing to add to your life.
I just want to say real quick to your point that obviously when I started the gym, I was about 19, 20. So about 10 years ago, I signed up for an actual gym. I was working out in garages here and there inconsistently when I was 18. But when I signed up for my membership, I think I was 19 or 20 at that point. And I would say that we are better trainers because we know what all the bad shit that you don't need to do. So we can explain like if you never have gone through any type of trial or, or mistake, it's hard for you to understand why maybe this exercise with this form may not be advantageous. You're just going to go based on the literature, which is fine. I mean, if so you can learn like that and save yourself the headache, great for you. But I know some people they need to see like, oh, this person fucked up doing what I think would be ideal. I trust this trainer a lot more because he gets it. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Oh, that doesn't work. I shouldn't maybe buy that supplement. Maybe testosterone boosters really are bullshit. Cool. Like, I'm grateful. Obviously, like, we wish that, but I think realistically, it wouldn't have made us as efficient as the trainers that we are now. Cut the time also in our training career because because Mike, I know before even working with me, he already has some background knowledge of stuff that he did before. Obviously this time around, he was already older and we cut a lot of the time down and we're very efficient with his personal fitness journey. But yeah, no, I think that the mistakes are valid, but like you said, to your point as well of how this can be a negative, you can become excessive, this can be negative. But I think that out of all the things that you can become obsessive about, it's probably one of the worst thing you're going to do is you're going to be really fucking tired and not make gains. For the most part, you're going to be just because it's going to keep you out of like, especially if you're the type of personality that we know people like that have obsessive and addictive personalities with almost anything. If you're addicted to going working out and waking up at 5 a.m. or getting your training session in every day versus you're the person that's addicted to booze and you're going to be spending a lot of money on booze and maybe getting a DUI, losing your job, killing yourself because you're like, it makes you more amplified of that sadness or negativity. Like, or you're just, you're a gambler and you're just wasting all you're just addicted with something like that. The worst thing I can see is like, you're just eating way too much chicken and brown rice and you're hitting too many chest days and you just have an abnormally big chest with no back and legs and shit. It sucks. That's a negative, but hey, you're staying out of trouble. And who knows? Some chicks may think that aren't a big abnormal chest may be good. Who knows?
Yeah. Nobody acts like, how much, people ask how much you bench.
Yeah. It's like, how much you squat, bro? Let me see those. Let me see how much those. Let me see those shredded hamstrings of yours. No one cares. They don't want to see your pythons, those bazookas hanging out of your shirts. Like Mike.
I like. Oh no, not right now. I'm a 2x4 right now, dude. I like asking people how much they squat. I think that's fun.
Because we think that's like cool because right now I
Show me your
can
quads.
never
That's exciting.
I can never impress anyone with my bench anymore. That's just me personally. That's after that freaking rupture. I was like, I'm lifting now a lot more though. I'm not gonna lie. I freaking I flared up my sciatica a little bit, Mike, at Crunch because I saw a hot girl checking me out while I was lifting, and I knew she was. I found from the peripheral. And I'm like, I wasn't gonna lift this much for Bulgarians, but we're gonna lift this much in Bulgarians. I was basically doing 100-pound Bulgarian split squats, so I basically ruptured my butt cheek. It's all good.
I do have a point to make here, but did you notice that we have a plate-loaded rowing machine that can double as a machine RDL deadlift station?
I did notice that. Yeah, dude.
I did some of those this morning before we opened, just to try it out, and then I had a client do them today. I think I just found like my new favorite place in the gym. And with that, I just forgot the point that I was going to make, but I do want to mention this. Kind of going back to the reasons behind me getting into exercise and feeling better about myself. I'm now at a point in my life where exercise is not so much that was a weird noise. Did you guys hear that? It was just a loud bang in my house. I hope I'm not being robbed. I'm to a point in my life where like my fitness on that triangle is not as, prioritized. It's more business and family at this point, and exercise is more supplemental and stress relief more than anything. I don't really care about the circumference of my arms or anything like that. My bench press, my squat. I'm doing it because I'm stressed
easy for you to say that your arms are just big by not doing shit. So,
dude, they're tiny right now. I'm telling you, dude, I'm emaciated. I'm basically malnourished at this point in my life just because I've been prioritizing working and then going home and spending as much time as I can with a screaming baby that's teething.
I'll deliver some Ami Manera to your job, man. Don't worry about it.
Just please do. That would be amazing. But so it's kind of interesting because I came from a place where I had negative self-worth and all that stuff that I mentioned before. And I kind of built myself up to a point now where it's not even what I'm measuring myself on anymore. My self-confidence is now being gained through other things, and exercise is now, if you want to correlate it to something like smoking or drinking, I mean, that's kind of my time, right? It's my drug of choice, if you want to go that far. And I mean, on that note, exercise does reduce cortisol and adrenaline, which are both stressful hormones, not so much adrenaline, but it does have a kind of that effect. And it also increases your endorphins, which makes you feel happy and whatnot. So in some way, it is kind of like a drug in that sort of get rid of the sad and make you feel happy type of way. Yep. So, just to kind of wrap that up in a bow, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that one. My brain is
and maybe just think as well. We talked a lot about like kind of like the beginning stages, right? I think that now you're at a point where you're matured in the lifting world that you look at it as medicine. And I think that's the driving home point here that I wanted to kind of segue and conclude here is use exercise as medicine because it's one of the better things, especially when you use it properly. This doesn't necessarily, crisis can happen to anyone at any given point, and it doesn't have to be like catastrophic, life and death type stuff. It's just something that makes you feel bad, negative, or kicks you out of your rhythm, right? Right now you're using it like strategically just to make you feel better because you may be like working on the foam roller. You're not really caring about curling your max or whatever. You're just literally just trying to make yourself feel better with exercise. I think that someone that's also been in this for a long time may have something come up, which most likely will. You're still going to revert to exercise and maybe taking care of yourself in maybe more of a therapeutic, let me go move, do some more mobility, corrective exercise, more lightweight, just getting my body to just be not so stiff. Maybe you're getting some nagging hip pain or back pain or shoulder pain or whatever the case may be. So you're not going there for aesthetics because you already done that. You've been in this for a while. You're just doing it to maintain and just know that that's instead of just slouching around and ordering that pizza, you'll order the pizza, but you'll go hit arms and you'll feel good about it. And then compliment and use exercise as medicine. No, but in most cases, you're not going to cope with food. You're not going to cope with negative, attributes that could have more negative effects than just go get some good feeling endorphins in your body. Like Mike says, in some cases, drop your cortisol levels, help with your sleep. So fitness can be a cure and help for all these negative things that life is going to throw at you. It's the only thing they technically can control is your body. If you have a more than able body that you can walk around and do stuff, hey, use this outlet. Even if you go to the obsessive, negative, darker side, unless you're not doing anabolics and you're really going to that extreme, which some people will. But if you're not, cases are the most thing you're going to be is you're going to be really nourished with protein, maybe have some digestive issues for some time, and you're going to be like, let me just take out a couple of chicken breasts a day, and then you're going to be a little bit better off. But
one less protein shake.
You run less protein shake a day, one less gassy, less gas throughout the day, all this stuff. But I think that we can kind of end it on this note, Gabe, unless you have anything else to add, any closing thoughts for us?
Yeah, something that you maybe you might appreciate this a little bit. Hey, do you know what cars spread on their toast?
What?
Do you know what cars spread on their toast? Traffic jam.
Oh yeah, I like that.
That was pretty
I have
good.
a couple gym related jokes, fitness jokes, if you will.
All right.
What do you get when you cross a bodybuilder with a peeping Tom? Amazing peaks. I did Arnold Schwarzenegger train on a deserted island. He wanted maximum isolation.
I have a riddle for you guys. I actually was waiting for Mike to get back. I've been holding this in for weeks. But this one, I will not give the answer on air.
What?
So the listeners will have to DM me, because this is going to go for the listeners. They will DM me, and you can't share if you understand the key to this game. It's a game, technically. So I don't know if you've ever played the green glass door. No?
I have no idea.
So boys, you ready? Just real quick. It's not long. I'm gonna see if you guys give a couple of jabs and you guys can text me the answer separate. Don't do it on the group chat. I will not answer your questions, and you can Google it. Have some honor, all you listeners too. All 3,766 of you.
Every single one.
So we're on a journey together. All three of us. We're walking, and we're gonna have to pass through this green glass door. Through this green glass door, we can only take specific items and leave others. Okay? Clear up to this point? So, for example, if I go through whatever, I can take a kitten, but I can't take a cat. I can take a puppy, but I can't take a dog. There's a key as to what you can and can't take, and you have to discover what the key is in order to pass the green glass door. What's the key? And listeners, if you actually know the answer, figure it out. You can give me a couple examples here if you want to try it, Gabe.
Sure.
Is it this penny I just found in my dresser?
But you have to give me two examples. Like I say, I can take a kitten, but I can't take a cat. You have to give me an example like that.
I can take a baby, but I can't take an adult.
You can't take a baby and you can't take an adult.
No to either one of the two?
No to either or. I can take.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Gabe. Go ahead.
No. You go.
I was gonna give you one to flip it because I think I know where your brains are going towards.
Yes.
I can take an apple, but I can't take an orange.
Oh, I got it. I got the answer.
Okay. Text me, Gabe, when you have the answer.
What? How did that help you?
That's it. Done.
And if
that
you got
makes
it pretty
no
quick,
fucking sense.
It actually makes all the sense in the world. So no, my no, to give you a reason as to why. So my oldest daughter, she plays this game, something like called a rule game, and she says similar to what you have, but there's a rule, and you have to follow the rule. Like for instance, if you say I can take I don't know, grass, lettuce, or whatever, and the rule is it's only green things. Right? So whatever rule it is, you just have to follow it. So what you did was just kind of give me a hint as to what it would be. I am fairly confident as to what.
Okay.
What
and I know the listeners are gonna be like, "What is it? What is it?"
I'll text. I'll text.
For example,
Guaranteed.
I'll give you one more, Mike. Ready? An example.
I'm ready.
You can take fitness, but you can't take the gym.
You're fucking with me. None of these have any. No, you're fucking with me.
And there is a key. You have to figure out what the key is.
Yeah. All right. So no, I'll just text you. So to leave it on a I guess on a funnier note, like just random thoughts. Funnier. More than that.
Mike's so pissed.
Yeah, let me ease that for you, Mike. It's something funny, like a random thought.
Yeah.
Did you know that men can direct blood flow with only the power of their mind?
Yes.
Yeah, I did know that.
That was it.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
Mike.
Perfect way to end it.
Your homework is to figure it out. You can text me if you figure it out.
I know the answer. You can take a shoe, but not the mall.
You can take the mall, but you can't take the shoe.
Oh, but not the shoe. Exactly, but the other way around.
What the fuck? No.
I can take coffee, but I can't take a cup.
Yep. It's all you're doing is just cementing what I have. I got 1,000% now. I know the answer.
Gabe, I know has
We'll leave
it.
it at
I'm
that.
pretty sure.
Yes.
But
Sleep on it a little bit, Mike. Take a little nap. Give me an example if you want before we get out there.
No. It's just gonna confuse me more.
Oh, I love it. All right, boys. Well, listeners, if you guys liked this episode and figured out the riddle and know the key to the game, you can't tell anybody. You have to message me privately on my Instagram at John Alva Fitness. I like imagine I start giving my phone number. I start getting random messages, death threats, like I hate this fucking game. But anyways, on that note, listeners, if you liked it, you know what to do. Leave us a 5-star rating review if you haven't, or if it's been a while. Also in the YouTube channel, give a thumbs up to the video if you're watching it on here on the YouTube platform. Check us out on Instagram at The Next Level Show. My personal page again is at John Alva Fitness. Gabe is at Prime and Glory, and Mike, he's at Mike Nillis PT.